Thompson. I am the head football coach at Francis Scott Key High School in Carroll County, Maryland. We're about 40 miles or so west of Baltimore. I am entering into my third year. My first year here was in the fall of 2019. We made the playoffs in 2019 for the first time in over a decade. So we had a little bit of success there. Previously, I'm originally from Virginia. Coached at various places throughout the state of Virginia. Learned lots of different things from several different guys. My one guy, John Davis, is really my mentor and the person I hang my hat on. He recently just got the head coaching job at Misericordia University in PA. So big congrats to him. Really just try to look to benefit young men and to be the best people that they can be, and also coach some football and win some football games along the way.
Hi, my name is Adam Greve. I'm the offensive line coach at Auburn Mountain View High School in Auburn, Washington. We're about 20 miles south of Seattle. We are a 3A school, so we're in the largest classification, right around 1,200 kids. I'm in my 28th year of coaching. Started as a 7th grade head coach, 9th grade head coach. Then was able to be the offensive line and defensive coordinating coach at Kent Meridian High School. From there, I moved on to be the head coach at Fife High School, which was at the time a smaller 2A school in Tacoma, Washington. And then for the last 3+ years, I've been the offensive line coach at Auburn Mountain View. Philosophically, we try to do very little and make it look like a lot. You'll see in some of the situations that I present today that they look like clinic talk plays, and they're actually things that we practice every single day. And it's just a matter of taking, 4 base runs, 4 base pass plays, 4 base play actions, 4 formations and 4 motions, and just mixing those together like puzzle pieces to come up with things that we think are going to work versus our opponents. And we base out of 10 and 11 personnel. So what we'll generally do to start as a good opener, maybe start of the game, is we want to find out a couple things formationally. We want to find out what coach is going to do strength-wise. We want to find out what he's going to do versus multiple receivers, base coverage. And we want to be able to find that out in a way that's safe for us. And so we run this, it's called Denver, Dallas. This one's, we're going to the motion's going left with the 2 receivers with Dallas would be Denver if we went back to the receivers with the motion to the right. And this goes into what I talked about in the introduction about linking plays together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at that hitch, and we're going to run wide zone to the right-hand side. And that plays into our hitch boot concept. It's an automatic play for us, and so that allows us right off the bat, if that hitch is open, we're hitting it. If not, the second thing we're going to do is, we'll just put that guy in motion, and we'll let him roll in motion, and we'll see what the secondary does, and if it gives us any numbers advantages, then we'll turn and we'll hit 4 on that screen, that little running back screen there. And if there's any confusion, if the quarterback's not sure what he's seeing, if we don't get what we like, then we're set up to run the outside zone. The way we look at it, we literally tell our quarterbacks during the period we practice this, every day for 10 minutes. We tell him we want him to go through the reads, but once he has a read, if he sees the hitch, go with the hitch. If he sees the kind of movement we like for that screen to be thrown, throw the screen right away. And if all else fails, run the wide zone. And again, these are 3 concepts we run constantly, and we just put them together. It's a 10-minute period at the beginning of every single practice, but it allows us to do something we know how to do. And then it's something that now the defense, having been a defense coordinator, defense is going to have to spend some time kind of working on this, because there's it looks like a lot of stuff going on, and for us, it's really the most basic things we do. We just package them together.
We're running what we call base expand, which up front our base alignment is we are in a 0 and 2-4 eyes, occupying the B gaps. We want to bubble everything out. So for this, hopefully we're going to stay on and stay in the B gap, create a bubble, get a bounce here. Hopefully we get a give. Doesn't throw that base off alignment. Our Sam is going to insert. He works. Our tackle is a 2-gap player. Now, if he gets movement, hopefully he doesn't get cut off. But if he does, it's not a big deal. Our Sam will replace him, plays backside for wherever he goes. Play side if he's not able to get over the top. He'll play inside out. We should seal this here with our edge, with our C-gap player, with our will. Our safety should run the alley. Obviously, he should have both of these guys should have a chance to make the play. It's handed off. If he decides to throw the smoke screen, we will. Okay, so he may bump a little bit there with the motion, but he's not going to get too far removed from the box. So if he throws the swing screen, we will ride to this late. He's going to insert into the seat. He is going to run the alley. And we are going to be a late contained player. So hopefully he makes the play for, if he doesn't throw that, that's a couple yards gain. And if he throws this, we just got to rally down to this. We will, our stud and our will, our overhangs, our late, and our basics, and our expand, just our regular, they are knifing, slicing underneath one. So he would be a late drop player there. And then obviously our stars should be a free hitter to kind of run wherever we need him to. We're going to run our crossed. We call this, one of our blitzes that we call cross, or base cross split. And what we're doing here is we're going to split the field in half with our coverage. At the snap, our 4 eyes are going to work out to the C gap. They should be expanding, working out. Our tackle is going to work weak side A and vertically push. Try to get to that inside shoulder, that guard, vertically push, influence the center. Our Sam, he is going to work through the B gap, outside shoulder of that of his guard, and then our star is going to cross. Why we call it cross into the A gap. Hopefully, he normally gets a decent chance to come free there. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna split the coverage. So we're gonna run man to the field side, and also should say here he is a replace. If he gets a flare, he's going to widen and take anything that pulls him out from the backfield. But that's hopefully we get pressure on the quarterback. We're playing quarters here to the field. Rob replaced 3 there. I should have mentioned that. He's going to replace for the blitzer. He's going to play middle hole. Hopefully the ball is out. 3 goes vertical. We got to take it.
Being second and 3, we got a minute left. First thing I want to do is work that hitch to the boundary again. You've seen it before, but it's a good package, just a good easy throw for us. If it's there, take it, get out of bounds. Get what you can get out of bounds, reset. Let's keep driving, trying to add to the score. If while we're doing that, our offensive line is going to be blocking wide zone to the left. Okay, and what we want out of that is they're not going downfield. Okay, but but they are going wide. They're giving that wide zone left look to the linebacker, so we can pull those linebackers towards that hitch. Because what we're going to end up doing, if that hitch is not there automatically, it has to be like an automatic read. If it's not there, the quarterback's going to boot out and around towards the trips. And as the escort, the running back is going to slow sift towards the trips. So he's going to stand there and he's going to get his eyes on the most outside rusher. And if there's 2 rushers, then he's the most outside of the 2. And he's going to slowly sift outside while the quarterback's looking at the hitch and boot around. He's going to look at the outside shoulder of that outside and then trap will pin him inside. So as he comes up, we're just going to sit down, and we're going to trap him inside. And that's going to be our escort for the quarterback. Our outside receivers, mandatory outside release. Our middle receiver is going to run a deep out, and our number 3 is going to run an angle, and we want him to run towards the inside shoulder of the buck backer there, and we want him to go opposite. So if that buck backer starts to expand, we're running towards the inside shoulder. That buck backer expands, we're going to stop, turn around, present ourselves, get the ball. If he sits on him, then, we tell our kids is, as a wide receiver, you should be a better athlete. And so if he sits inside or he takes a step inside towards what looks like wide zone to left, then take that outbreak. And we just read top to bottom. Being that it's that down in distance, and anticipating that they're going to be looking for some kind of a pass, some kind of a 8 yards or more play, so that we can be manageable. There's no sense in running into that or throwing into that. So we're going to take our single receiver, our number 1, our boundary receiver, run them at mandatory outside release. We're going to take our boundary tackle, boundary guard, block down, take our center, kick out. Because he's playing at A, we're going to keep our field side or our backside guard. We're going to keep him in, kick out that A or down block that A, pull that tackle around, and just run simple counter up inside, open those trips. He's got 4 defenders over there, so hopefully it pulls those kids out of play. We're going to run a simple, and have the quarterback read the bubble to the backside to base play for us. But at this point, I think if we're getting greedy, we're throwing right into what he wants us to do. And we don't get all 12 yards. We'd like to live to fight another day as opposed to turn the ball over right around half, midfield.
We call this base, cross, split. So we're splitting the coverage in half. If we get trips, similar to the last split, our bull is going to replace our star. We're going to rob 3 vertical, but the ball should come out high. So what we're going to do is up front, we're going to expand out. We're going to work out to our C gaps. Immediately, our tackle, okay, he works weak side A. Our Sam, he is going to go first, B gap. Our star, since he's outside of the box a little bit anyway, he's going to insert A gap, which hopefully we are hoping that he comes scotch-free. And like we're going to run our quarter concept over here. And like I said, we're going to run man up here. Our end, who's working out to C, he peels if he gets threat from the back flaring out, but obviously that's not happening here. So hopefully we are hoping, okay, we either get an insert here with the will. If he chases, we get an insert, or we get a track down from the star, although that's a long run for him to make, or we went up front here. So he's throwing the football here, which I would think. So we're just gonna call our just basic generic. We know it's a pass, and we just want to get as many guys in coverage as possible. It's going to give an out call and give our coverage call, which we're just going to play a basic quarters here. So out, these guys are just going to work out right at the snap versus waiting. So they should be expanding C gap to try to contain quarterback here. We're going to spy with our Sam, our tackle, get the best pass rush possible, but it doesn't really matter. He can pick a side and work. And then we're just going to play quarters coverage on the back end. We should try to slice out and expand underneath one. Hopefully this year I'll be able to have more time to install a few other things, post COVID here. But we like to give a loose call. We'd be at like 5 yards versus at 3, which is what he's normally at, and he just settle up. Or we could play cover 2, or regular just 2 read. But for right now, like I said, I'm not gonna get too fancy and all that. We'll just play our base quarters and hopefully keep everything in front of us and not cover the end zone. So heel should be on the goal line, and we're finding work here in the middle hole.
Protection. We were basically a half slide team, and bring guys over as we need them. So we'll go half slide. As far as the motion goes, really that's just to pull people over. And what we want to do, we'll go to the motion side first. Our number one's going to run at the inside shade of that B safety, and we're going to run a wheel on the outside of the corner, and we're going to release that running back straight out to the flat. We want everybody looking that way, and then that running back just becomes our emergency flat. With 2 seconds left, there's no way that's going to happen. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to take our number 5 and we're going to run them up, hit the goal line, and then get right at the inside shoulder of that free safety. We want that free safety. We want to get over the back. We want to go right at that inside shoulder, and we're going to rub number 4. And or our number 2 receiver on the right hand side. And we're going to throw opposite of the free safety. 2 seconds left. It's either do or die, right? So that's what we've done in the past, and it's seemed to work for us. So, like Coach is saying, no reason to try to get fancy at this point. We're just trying to win the game and take advantage of the defensive rules, and hopefully we're right. First of all, thanks for having me on. This is a lot of fun, actually. For to watch these, and it's kind of interesting for me to see not the same people all the time presenting information, but to see different ideas from around the country, from different people at all levels. And I think that's probably, at least for me in this format, it's been most interesting. As far as the stuff we've done, it's all been borrowed. Someone showed me how to do this, or I went to a clinic, or I asked. And so if there's anything you see that you like, if there's anything you think that we can be of help to you at Auburn Mountain View High School, then by all means reach out to us. Because again, we begged, borrowed, and stole all this stuff like everybody else. And so, we feel an obligation to give back to people when they are interested in seeing something or interested in some help. If you want to reach out to me, my Twitter is agreve05. It's all small letters. And my email is agreve05@gmail.com. And again, if you want to reach out, if you have questions, if you just want to chat football, let me know. I'll be happy to jump on with you and do what I can to help you, just like other people have helped us.
All right, thanks for having me on, Sam. Appreciate it. A good time talking football with one of the West Coast guys. Actually, the real life West Coast, not the West Coast offense. But good getting on here with Adam. If anybody has any questions or anything, as always, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Twitter at Thompson Dub, or if you want to email me, feel free to email our football account, fskeaglesfootball@gmail.com. I'm no genius guru, any of that stuff. I'm just a pawn in this game. Learned, like Adam mentioned, learned a lot of things from a lot of different guys, and you make it your own. If you get one nugget, take it and run with it. But it's always great to network, learn new guys. I know guys all throughout the country just based off Twitter and building relationships. I love talking to guys and different things, and most of the time we end up talking about more than just football. It's more or less, how do you do this? How do we do that? I think that's a big different areas. You get different ideas. So feel free to reach out to me. Appreciate you having me on, boss.